still with us is Attorney Juan Miguel Cuna of the Environmental Management Bureau or EMB. Okay, pinag-uusapan po natin ang environment, ng kapaligiran, at kung meron kayong mga katanungan tungkol sa siguro mga violations sa mga environmental laws sa inyong mga lugar, you can text us or pwede kayo magpadala ng mga katanungan, reaksyon o mga sumbong dito kay Attorney Mitch na director ng EMB. Okay, we have a text question from No Name. And I think this is addressed to Gerard. Is there a technology to prevent drop calls when riding elevators? Okay.
There is.
I guess that's a valid concern because everyone's on the move. They're going to their offices, but they have to take a call. It's a business call. It's not a personal call, and the elevator door closes and the call is dropped.
Yeah, but you can avoid it. You can have Wi-Fi even in the elevator itself, and you can connect it via Cat 6 or Cat 5, so no problem.
Okay, so the elevator is becoming more high-tech, so to speak.
Yeah, more aligned with the request of the users.
Okay, so you're responsive to those requests. Okay, back to Attorney Mitch. We were talking about we have to find some common ground between you gentlemen, and it's not easy, but we'll try to manage. Okay, etong sinasabi mo na yung clean water, okay, that's also a concern in view of all the pollutants around and the population being the way it is. And with a lot of communities sprouting where they don't have that access to clean water. So how does government address that?
In 2008, just for the information of the audience, the Supreme Court came out with an order, we call it a mandamus order, directed not only at the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, but other government agencies, including local government units within the Manila Bay region, to return the Manila Bay to Class SB status, meaning it should be fit for swimming and other recreational activities. And Secretary Pahe, along with the other officials of DNR, figured we cannot do this, we cannot comply with the order of the Supreme Court without first addressing the tributaries and the esteros that flow into Manila Bay. So in 2010, we began this Adopt an Estero program, realizing the fact that the national government would not have enough resources to go through cleaning all these esteros. We partnered with private firms, but after the usual memoranda of agreement signing, the important thing is we would go back to these areas which were adopted, these esteros and water bodies which were adopted, and tried to educate the people, the communities in the area, the members of civil society in the area, and the barangays on how to take care of the solid waste management, and for them to have ownership of the project so that they themselves would take care of the water bodies flowing within their areas. And we have, in the 4 years that this program has been going on, we have over 500 memoranda of agreement signed already, and we continue to monitor these areas. And we feel that to a great extent, this has been successful since the water quality in these areas have improved.
Okay. I want to be optimistic. I guess everyone wants to be optimistic. But is it technologically feasible to actually clean these esteros? I mean, just one look at them and you won't want to take a second glance. Things floating around and...
Years ago, I would have had the same question. But one instance I would like to mention is the Estero de Paco, which was spearheaded by Ms. Gina Lopez along with the Pasig River Rehabilitation Commission. We were also part of that project. The Estero behind Paco Market, I grew up in the Manila area. That area, you could literally walk on the Estero before. If you see it today, you will be shocked at how it has improved tremendously. Of course, there was introduction of technologies, and cleaning and taking care of the area in the sense that no additional loading of solid waste is being done there, and then the sides along the Estero de Paco have been greened. So it is possible. It will take time and effort and, of course, resources.
Do you have to uproot the factories there and all the industry? Of course, this is old Manila. This is where everything started. So I guess it's inevitable that everything is there. The old factories with their old technology, but these companies played a crucial role in the development of the country. So do we move them from the metropolis somewhere safer?
As much as possible, that would be the ideal, to move them to certain areas, because years ago there was no such thing as zoning in local government units. Now they're starting to do that. Most highly urbanized cities have their zoning ordinances, and they're placing industries in particular areas. But for those that are in particular areas now, and it would be difficult for them to relocate, you just have to make sure they incidentally get a wastewater discharge permit from the Environmental Management Bureau Regional Office to ensure that their wastewater discharge is within the standards set by the department. They have to have a wastewater treatment facility if they have, in fact, discharging of water being done under their operations. So these are things that we monitor and have to make sure that they are complying.
Okay. Of course, there are many laws to which companies have to comply, but one thing in the Philippines, one common complaint of business, whether SME or the big businesses, is that there are too many requirements, and the system of compliance, I mean, you have to go from window A, window B, so there's a lot of red tape. So on the part of the government, is there a genuine desire to make the whole process less difficult for an investor?
Yes, we have tried to really streamline our processes, and in fact, all our regional offices are capable of processing the papers of the people in a particular region, as opposed to years ago when everybody had to go to Imperial Manila and apply for permits and licenses here. So the regional offices are capable of processing the papers. We have provincial environment officers in each province, so that for the provinces that are far from the regional offices, there is someone who can assist them in particular provinces.
Okay. Gerard, we just wrapped up with the World Economic Forum East Asia Summit here. And of course, the business friendliness of the country has to be discussed. So from a foreign investor, what's it like doing business in the Philippines?
It's more fun in the Philippines. There are a lot of challenges, but on the other hand, there are also very, very much opportunities here. And I like it to do business in the Philippines. Most of the people are really friendly, and at least they want to serve you. So I don't have difficulties to do business in the Philippines.
So you're comfortable doing business here?
I'm comfortable, yes. And nowadays,
is it getting better, getting worse?
I think
because policies tend to shift and sway with each administration.
If you look to the administrative side, it's quite challenging. But if you look to the setup with more PPP constructions in place, it's easier to do business in the Philippines. And I'm looking forward to continue with it.
Okay, from a Textra viewer, Lee Javier. I don't know if I'm reading that correctly. Lee Javier of Panay. Okay, binabati natin ang ating mga viewers dyan sa Panay. Good evening. If major concerns and the issues regarding environment are properly disseminated and updated, then awareness is maintained. Example, illegal human activities should be a matter of record, and government agencies on environment continue to contribute in a trending research activities of modern times. Thanks and God bless. Okay? Your reaction, Mitch?
Well, the viewer mentioned awareness. So under the Environmental Management Bureau, we have Environmental Education Information Division. which we try to use to the fullest. In spite of our limited manpower, we are networking with the local media. This is upon direct instructions of the Secretary. We also are partnering with PIA, Philippine Information Agency, to help us disseminate information on basic environmental protection practices that the common citizen should be able to understand and to do.
Okay. A text from no name, but we'll read it anyway. What is the government doing in its move to phase out HCFC 141B in the foam manufacturing sector? What type of assistance do you provide to the industry?
Actually, right now it's very funny that the question came
What
up.
is that HC?
That's hydrochlorofluorocarbons. It's one of the types of ozone-depleting substances. In fact, that is the latest ODS that we are phasing out now. We have a HPMP. It's a hydrochlorofluorocarbon phase-out management plan. We have UNIDO working with us on a particular project. This is the United Nations Industrial Development Organization. They're providing
This is for refrigeration.
yes, and air conditioning. So they provide for free equipment and technical assistance to certain corporations. In exchange, they just ask that they stop using hydrochlorofluorocarbons in their.
From a technical ignorant, is this the freon that we have put in our
Yes, that's part of it. That's one of
air
yes,
conditioning?
yes, yes.
So, are we going to have to live without air conditioning, or
No,
are
no,
there
there
replacements?
are alternatives. In fact, if I may, there are challenges to implementing this phase out because most of the alternatives to HCFCs are ozone friendly, but some of them are have high global warming potential, so you have a problem with climate change.
There's a conflict there. It's very hot nowadays, and you need your air conditioner.
Yeah.
But then again, you use more air conditioning, you put more substances up there that make the weather actually warmer. Is that more or less correct?
No, not necessarily. That's why the newer technologies have a way of
Mitigating?
Yes, mitigating that. So as I said, another challenge that we're facing is that these ODS, ozone-depleting substances, we don't have any disposal facilities here in our country right now. So we have just storage of these ODS. So many of us, without knowing it, we just have our old air conditioners and refrigerators in junk shops, not knowing that the freon that is there, if it escapes, then it's bad for the environment. So
Mitch, I just gotta have your reaction on the big issue a few weeks ago. We had container vans, a lot of them,
yes,
of junk. Actually, junk is not garbage, rubbish
Yeah.
from Canada that was shipped here,
Yes.
supposedly mistakenly. What's
well,
your
actually, it
office's-
was not mistakenly sent here. It was purposely sent here, but there was a
Maliciously?
there was a misdeclaration of its contents. It was supposed to be
Who ships rubbish?
exactly. This was a company in Ontario, Canada. They sent it here. Supposedly, the contents were plastics for recycling purposes. Then it turned out to be regular garbage, diapers, plastic mineral water bottles.
And smelly stuff,
Yes.
in other words. Okay, from Joseph De Vera of Sipocot, Camarines Sur. Okay, binabati natin ating mga viewers dyan sa Camarines Sur. With the high cost of electricity, people will continue to cut trees, mangroves for firewood. Thus, Malacanang expect the people to eat raw rice, raw instant noodles. Thank you, Mr. Hill, and your guests. Okay. Your reaction to that?
So sorry. With the cutting of trees, this is inevitable. It just has to be regulated well. Lately, there have been concerns regarding road widening projects and other projects which entail the cutting of trees. You just
Cutting
have to,
300-year-old trees for the road doesn't seem like...
well, exactly. That's why they have to work around that. That's the project design, which is with DPWH, we have to work with each other, I guess.
Okay, we have other questions, but I don't think we have time for that. Very, very briefly, Gerard, your parting shots.
Parting shots. I think again, when you look to the environment and to the energy efficiency, we are very far ahead of our competition using the ultra rope. We have one example now in Marina Bay Resort. It's 200 meters tower. We have a practical example. We have less 20% energy reduction there. Practical measurements. So I think we can help save the world.
Okay, Mitch, very briefly, parting shots.
Well, the protection of the environment is important for every citizen of this country, and I think it is clear today at present it cannot be the government alone to do this job of protecting the environment. We need the help of each and every sector, each and every citizen of this country.